Marina, Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land album review. Let's chat about it. Hey guys, what's going on? John here from What's Spinning, here tonight to chat about the latest from Marina, aka Marina Diamandis, who for many years was also performing under the Marina and the Diamonds name. And you know, at first I thought that her career was off to a little bit of a rocky start. The Family Jewels, I was never that into. It had really great singles, but it also had a ton of filler. Now, she did show a lot of growth with her next album, Electroheart. I mean, this album had Bubblegum Bitch on it. I was 19 when this came out, and I thought it was fantastic. Hell, I still think it's fantastic. But I was still worried about the consistency of her albums, and then, out of nowhere, she dropped this little bad boy here. Why don't I have this on vinyl? Her Fruit album is so good. I was a fan overnight. This was the bubbly, anthemic electropop album that I had been craving. So much so that I was so excited to see what Marina was going to do next. And in 2019, we certainly got a lot. We got a double album from her. And God, I was not into it at all. It was overly gaudy. It was overly produced. I just was not liking the direction that she was going. I was so disappointed because, you know, for a while I was really hyped on her to be the next pop star that I obsessed over. However, the slew of singles that she has been dropping this year from this new album, Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land, have been some of her best ever. Let's chat about this thing. This album starts off with Ancient Dreams in a Modern Land, this album's title track, and right off the bat, Marina is really back with a vengeance. This track is absolutely money. I love the sort of galloping bass riff that we get here, as well as her performance, which is almost hypnotizing. It's inspired, it's empowering, it's a big statement, much like most of this album. But it is a fantastic track that seems to be kind of nodding to many great eras of pop music, sort of the classic pop style as well as a more modern style. And ever since Venus Flytrap has dropped, I've been obsessed with this track. I think it's a fantastic pop tune. It's got a fantastic message of self-ownership and self-love. It's also just overwhelmingly charismatic. Not only that, but Marina just sounds so freaking alive. Oh, and you know, it's casually one of the catchiest pop tunes I've heard all year. This reminds me of everything that I loved about her around the time of her Fruit album. Purge the Poison is also ridiculously good. Now, I'm going to get to Man's World in a bit, but on that track, I really loved a lot of the lyrical themes. I loved the empowering lyrics, I loved her performance, but the tune itself, the instrumental and just the tune to it is just kind of weak in my book. Purge the Poison, however, takes everything that track had, brings it together, and just really makes it groove hard. It's full of swagger. I love her vocals here. I love the themes, and this chorus is staggering. Highly emotional people's really solid ballad, like Marina's performance here, is incredibly tender and heartfelt. It's a track about showing your emotions, letting it out, and honestly, it hits pretty hard. And not only that, but you could just tell this meant so much to her. Like, this is fantastic, especially compared to some of the other ballads here, not to ruin anything. I mean, I guess I'll just talk about them now. Some of the glossier ballads here just don't vibe with me. They remind me of what disappointed me about her last double album. Like, Man's World has so much going for it. It is such an important track, especially, you know, in the world that we're living in right now. And as far as that goes, this track is great. But it's just the complete opposite as far as instrumentals go. Even the melody, there's so many better here. I mean, this just reminds me of the overly glossed pop of Love and Fear. But it's still hugely important and lyrically commendable, right on. Pandora's Box, on the other hand, is just so plain Jane. Lyrically, it's still powerful, her vocals are certainly great. But nothing about this track excites me or even sticks with me. And compared to just how bombastic the rest of this album is, this is a real letdown. And I have a lot of the same feelings on Flowers, too. I mean, it's kind of charming in parts. It's an old school sort of pop ballad. But for me, it doesn't really have a place here. Outside of that, though, yeah, this album rules. I love New America. It's fantastic. It's got a big sunny beat to it. But it also dives into a lot of, you know, current events, what's going on in the world, namely the U.S. And you know what? She sounds passionate as hell. She sounds fired up. I mean, these are topics that are hard to touch down upon in music sometimes, but she does it like it's her freaking job. I also love I Love You, but I Love Me More. You know, going into this track, I thought this was going to be another, like, self-love anthem. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And it is. It's a great track about self-appreciation, which we need. But as this track rolls on, it gets pretty larger than life and pretty epic. It is passionately performed. It is badass. This isn't Marina just kind of stepping away from something. This is her slamming the door in its face. And Goodbye, as a finale goes, as a ballad goes even, she saved the best for last. This is so her speed as far as a ballad goes. It's dramatic, it's full of character. Even lyrically, it has some of the best one-liners on the entire album. It is gorgeous. Not only that, but with every righteous statement on this album, whether it be the self-appreciation or anything else she's touched down upon here, she's done a lot. This just, wraps the album up in a nice little bow, wraps it up and just, lets it sit. And I think it really sums up everything really nicely. This is the album that I've been dying to hear from her for years, ever since I really got into some of her stuff around the Fruit period. This is the colorful blast of electropop that I needed right now. Between the empowering courses and the anthems of self-appreciation, this is badass of a pop album. This is a badass electropop and pop album. Feeling a decent 8 on this bad boy, but let me know what you guys think down below. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like, give us a subscribe, and let me know down below what you would like for me to chat about in the future. And until next time, have a great day, guys.